Hello and welcome to this exciting episode of the Real Talk Show. Today is the 12th of May in 2023. And as usual, the Zambian Youth Platform is presenting the Real Talk Show, which comes to you every Friday at 14 hours. And I am excited. Today's episode of the Real Talk Show is quite exciting and interesting as we are building up to one of the most exciting events for people like me, people like Ngandwe, people like Miranda, and people like Shadrick. We're building up to the Regional Adolescent Health Indaba. We're looking forward to getting to know, tapping into what Ngandwe has to say about the RAHi, what Miranda has to say about the RAHi, and allow me to acknowledge the presence of my brother Shadrick Chansa, who is our sign language interpreter for today. And like I mentioned, today's episode is solely dedicated into looking into what the Regional Adolescent Health Indaba is all about. When is it coming? Why should we all be excited as young people to, be part of the Regional Adolescent Health Indaba? I'm your host for today, and my name is Iga Kapambwe, a mental health activist, a ZYP member, and a student as well. So I'm counting. Where do I start from? Okay, I'll start with Miranda. Hi, Miranda. Good afternoon, and please introduce yourself. Brief background about yourself within a minute.
Thank you very much, Shadri. Iga. My name is Miranda Ziba. I work with Zambian Youth Platform. I'm in the programs department. I work there as a programs officer. And I'm an SRH activist as well.
Thank you so much, Ngandwe.
Thanks. Thank you so much, Iga, and nice to see you again, and nice to meet you, Shadrick, and good afternoon to you, Miranda, and the rest of the viewers. Well, as introduced, my name is Ngandwe. My full name is Ngandwe Ngandwe. I hope that's clear on the screen. I work for an organization called SAT. It's a regional organization, so I work for SAT here in Zambia as SRH Youth Officer. I'm also equally an SRH advocate like Miranda. Also crazy about media. I'm a journalist in my other life, but most importantly, I'm a young person.
Okay, thank you so much. Quite exciting young people on the program today. And remember that the Real Talk Show comes to you every Friday at 14 hours, and we are live on Facebook and YouTube. Our topic of discussion today is simply just building up to what is happening next week. The Regional Adolescent Health Indaba. I want to start with Miranda. Just give us a brief background. What is the RAHi all about? What should come to somebody's mind when the RAHi is mentioned?
Okay. So the RAHi is actually the Regional Adolescent Health Indaba. And so just like the name states, it's a regional convening where we bring together young people from in their diversity from a regional level. So these young people come from a regional level and they come to meaningfully engage with policymakers and implementers of these policies. And we also bring together other stakeholders in the region to discuss the key health issues that are affecting adolescents and young people. Then during this regional Indaba also, we ensure that young people come up with recommendations that are given to these key partners that are implementing programs that are in line with their adolescent health. Yes, so mainly that is what the regional Indaba is all about. Maybe I could also just give a brief background of where we're coming from. So as Zambian Youth Platform, initially we started by implementing national health adolescent indabas from way back as 2018. And so this is not something that is just Indaba was in 2021. And this brought together adolescents, about 300 young people. And in this year's Indaba, we are expecting young people from Kenya, Botswana, and Zimbabwe as well.
Okay, Miranda, I lost you for a bit. Approximately how many young people are we expecting at the RAHi?
Okay, so this year's RAHi is exciting. We're expecting about 500 delegates, and these are not just delegates from Zambia, but also at a regional level. We expect delegates from Botswana. We also expect delegates from Zimbabwe as well, and also Kenya joining us in this regional Indaba.
Okay, thank you so much, Miranda. Ngandwe, I want to turn to you and maybe ask of your experience. I should believe that you have attended the RAHi before, and you've been in such spaces. So this year, what direction is the RAHi taking? Is there a specific theme under which we are working, and maybe tie that into your personal experience of being in such a space? What stands out for you?
Definitely. I'd like to start with my experience. I want to start by saying that I've been quite privileged to attend every single Indaba that the ZYP has hosted. At that, I know that we're coming from a background of having the NAHI, first it was called NAHI, the National Adolescent Health Indaba, and then we graduated into the RAHi. So I've been privileged to attend each and every one of those. I think the direction has shifted quite swiftly in that the theme will speak for itself. The theme for this year's Indaba is closing the tap on new HIV infections through meaningful youth engagement. I don't know if I've said it correctly, but pardon me if I haven't. But that's the picture we're trying to paint, and this is so because you see the new HIV infections that we are seeing within the region are mainly affecting young people, and we need to close that type of new infections so that we can contain and eventually end the epidemic. And we can only do that if we engage young people who are the majority of the population. And by a lot of statistics we have seen, they are also the ones that are mostly sexually active. So we need to engage young people if we are to end the pandemic by the deadlines that we've set, which are 2030. So that's my interpretation of what the direction of the Indaba is. And those are some of the issues that young people and other stakeholders will be engaging around.
Okay, thank you so much. I think if I have gotten you correctly, there's a last part which really stood out for me in the theme. You spoke about the fact that this year's theme is that we are trying to close the tap of new HIV infections through innovation, leadership, and meaningful youth engagement. So this sounds like a lot like the RAHi comes out as an opportunity to be able to tap into the innovative methods young people would like to have in terms of closing this particular tap, training leaders, as well as using it as a platform to meaningfully engage with young people. That sounds a lot exciting. But I'd like to shift to Miranda and maybe ask: is there a specific target of people that we're expecting to see at the RAHi, and is there an age restriction?
Okay, thank you, Iga. So with the regional Indaba, we are targeting adolescents and young people, 35 years and below. That is our target group, especially for our delegates. But I must also mention that we may also have people that are beyond 35. Just like I said, we will have key stakeholders coming in place. We will also have some decision makers coming in the space as well. So in terms of our delegates, we are targeting those 35 years and below to be among the delegates that we will have. And just like the theme says, we want to place adolescents and young people at the center of HIV response. And so if we're going to have older people coming to represent them only, then it doesn't speak to what we want to achieve. And yeah, so we are targeting those that are 35 years and below. Ika, thank you.
Okay, thank you. I want to talk to Ngandwe. Ngandwe, so Miranda says that the target of people that we're expecting to see at the RAHi is 35 and below. But seeing that most issues that have to do with HIV, sometimes parents play a key role in closing the type of new HIV infections. I personally think that they're key stakeholders when we speak of closing the type of new HIV infections. What is your view? Do you think parents need to take interest, if they're able to, that is, need to take interest and maybe show up at the RAHi, or is there a system of people that will be there representing parents? Because at the end of the day, they ought to also add a voice to what is happening. So what is your take on?
Thank you so much. I think it's an interesting question. You see, when we talk about meaningful youth engagement, I like to think about it as a car. And for me, the parents that you've mentioned tend to act like a key to make this car move. And the reason why they are a key to me is because, you see, for meaningful youth participation or engagement to take place, there has to be a partnership between the people with the power and the people that want the power. That partnership is also important because there needs to be a very healthy relationship that encourages smooth flow or exchange of knowledge between the young generation and the older generation, and parents cannot be left out of that conversation. And also, parents wear different hats. Today, they're directors in the Ministry of Health. Tomorrow, they are senior programs officers in international organizations. And they're also pastors. They are also imams in mosques. They can have different faces. And so all these faces that I've mentioned will be present at the RAHi, but also parents in their natural nature, I guess, will be present at that. And I think other parents in the general population, those that are on Facebook, outside Facebook, must take keen interest in this particular Indaba and see if they can find it online and participate, because this platform will be a platform for engagement between young people and decision makers. So it might interest them to hear what are some of the latest trends in adolescent health, what is happening, what are the gaps, and how do we specifically come up with interventions that they can participate in that can help us to permanently close the tap on HIV infections. Thank you.
Okay, Nandwe, before you close your mic, have you applied for the RAHi?
Yes, I have. I've applied for the RAHi, and I'm 100% sure that I'll be there.
Okay, all right, great. Before I get to you, because seeing that you've applied before, I'd like to let you tell us about how one gets to apply to be in attendance. But for now, allow me to shift to Miranda. Miranda, when is the RAHi happening? We keep saying next week, and we are building up to what is coming. But can we be more precise about when the RAHi is happening? Tell us about that.
Okay. Well, I love your excitement about the Indaba Iga. I've been hearing you say it's going to be next week, but maybe just to burst your bubble a bit, I would just like to say that the Indaba is actually being postponed due to unforeseen circumstances. So our Indaba is actually going to be starting on the 31st of May, and it will end on the 2nd of June. The reason behind this is because, as you may be aware, we've had provincial adolescent health Indabas that have been taking place in different provinces. And this is because during our last Indaba, our last RAHi, the Minister of Health, Honorable Sylvia Masebo, had pledged to help financially so that we can support provinces to also hold their Indabas in the provinces. And this is mainly because we want to bring the underserved and rural communities in this conversation around adolescent health. And so we want to hear the voices of those in the rural communities, those in the underserved communities. We want to hear the voices during this regional Indaba. And so the provincial Indabas are actually feeding into the regional Indaba that we are going to have. And because of that, we cannot go ahead and hold provincial Indaba, the regional Indaba, without all the provincial Indabas being held, because we want all of them to come in and give us their feedback. All the provinces are going to have position papers that they will be coming to present at this regional Indaba. And so we have 2 provinces that are yet to implement their provincial Indabas. We've had the other 8 implement their own, but because we still want to accommodate the other 2 provinces, we have decided to postpone. The other reason is also because our guest of honor, the Honorable Minister, will be out of the country in Geneva on national duties. And we want her to be there during our regional Indaba because this is going to be very big. We want her to be there and to be able to listen to what the provinces have had to say, what the provinces have put in together. So we would not want to go on and hold our Indaba without the presence of our guest of honor. And so because of that, we have decided to postpone the Indaba to the 31st of May, and it will come to an end on the 2nd of June.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You have given very useful information. So if you were like me, who was so excited that you wanted the Indaba to happen by next week, there she goes bursting our bubble, saying that it is happening on the 31st of May and ending on the 2nd of June. Hope Malambo on Facebook is saying, looking forward to seeing you guys at the RAHi. Definitely, I'm going to be there, and Miranda is going to be there. Ngando is going to be there. Naomi Mwinga is saying, please help us with the link. I'm failing to sign up. I'm confident that our technical team is going to put up the link in the comments so that you're able to sign up. Just keep watching, and I'm confident that you will be able to do it. Doris Jemwene is saying, I can't wait for this year's RAHi. Hopefully, I will be one of those attending this year. Doris, you have to make it possible for you to be able to attend this year's RAHi because it's coming bigger and better. Chisenga Chilufia is commenting from Mulobezi, saying, following from Mulobezi. All right, thank you so much. I hope you'll be able to make it to Lusaka by 31st. Looking forward to attending the RAHi 2023. Thank you so much, Mark Sikonda Hebrews on Facebook. Thank you so much, guys, for showing that you're following what is happening on as we are building up towards the Regional Adolescent Health Indaba. So before I went to Miranda, I had actually talked about Ngandwe giving us direction on how one gets to apply. What do you need to do? I think maybe tell us your experience on applying for the RAHi. Does it take long? Does it take so much time that you have to waste a lot of time applying?
Yeah, no, it doesn't take a lot of time. But let me also just mention that the link has been pretty much posted on many of the posts that have been put up on the ZYP page. So it's not difficult to find as long as you can scroll through a couple of posts on the page. So when you click that particular link that asks you to register, it's going to open a different page. And when it does that, the first thing you need to look out for is that it's got information about, brief information about the Indaba, just so you're not confused as to what you're about to register for. After that, it's going to ask you for your full names, which you're going to put. It's also going to ask you for your profession. Do you work? Do you not? What is your occupation? It is also going to ask you for your age, which is very important to this Indaba because it's an adolescent health Indaba. It's also going to ask you for your email because that's very important for communicating with you in terms of your status pertaining to your registration. It's also going to ask you if you've attended previous Indabas before, which you need to indicate because that also is very important information to the team that is organizing. It's also going to ask you if you are an international delegate. That means if you are applying from or registering from in or outside Zambia. not outside Lusaka. Please get me clearly outside Zambia. So if you're from Lobezi and if you're from Rufusa, you are still in Zambia. So that pretty much puts you within the country. It's also going to ask you if you're a member of ZYP. I understand maybe Miranda can spend some time to respond to this on what that exactly means, but I'm sure it means if you are an actual member of the youth platform. It's also going to ask if you are affiliated to any organization currently, which I hope young people will be able to happily oblige to. And the last part is it asks you to write a bit of a motivational statement, something that should convince the team um, that is compiling a list of participants, something that should convince them that out of the hundreds and thousands of adolescents in the country that you deserve to attend this particular Indaba. Once you do that, you will be home and dry and be able to submit and sit back and relax and wait for communication.
Okay, thank you. As we're going towards the end of the show, Miranda, I think, okay, I'd like to read this comment, Miranda, before you come on. Jeremiah is saying, the RAHi presents a great opportunity for networking. I'm a personal story of how the RAHi has positively shaped and influenced me as an individual and a brand. My word of advice to the young people coming for the great event is to take advantage and build a network of adults and like minded individuals. Great work, team. See you there. Thank you so much, Jeremiah, for following up. And then she's saying that Chilufia is also saying Miranda, Lady of Valor, will sure be in Lusaka. Yes, Miranda will be at the meeting, so um, be sure to come through and get to greet her. So I was about to bring you on, Miranda, just so you can get to clarify on the ZYP membership aspect that Ngandwe talked about. You may want to clarify that, what it exactly means, and then also get into maybe are there specific topics that are looking to be addressed as we are attending the adolescent health, the regional adolescent health Indaba. Are there specific topics that participants should be, looking out for?
Okay, thank you so much, Iga and Ngandwe. So to start with the issue of membership, Zambian Youth Platform is a membership-based organization, as you may know, and we have had our membership link being posted on several occasions on our Zambian Youth Platform page on Facebook. And so we have members in the organization, which is more than 10,000 members currently, if we look at the individual membership. And we also have organizations that are members of the network. And so when we request for somebody to indicate whether they are a member or not, it's because as Zambian Youth Platform, we prioritize our members first. During this selection process, the first thing we're going to look at is whether one is a member or not. And registration for membership is very easy. One just has to click on the link that is provided on our Facebook page or even just our website. Once they click on that page, they register to be a member of Zambian Youth Platform. We also have affiliate members, those that pay membership fee, which is an annual fee of 200 kwacha, and one remains a member of Zambian Youth Platform. But just for a start, one simply has to click on the link that is on the website and register to become a member. It's as simple as that. Before you even get to the issue of you having to pay and do all that, yeah. And getting to the topics on the RAHi, we are going to have a lot of interesting topics. We are going to be talking about HIV in general. We will also be talking about STIs, anything related to sexual reproductive health and adolescent health. We will be talking about that during the RAHi. It is also exciting that we're going to have some traditional leaders so that we can also just have a time to talk about the traditional norms and things that have been affecting us as young people in accessing health because of the traditional beliefs. We will have religious leaders coming in and we'll be talking about how religion, for example, is hindering some adolescents from accessing services because of the beliefs that we have in our religion. And we will have several other topics to talk about. We'll have breakaway sessions during this Indaba, where young people will be going into different spaces to discuss different issues affecting their health, or just bring out solutions on how they want certain issues to be addressed, certain challenges that they have been facing to be addressed. We want to bring out the innovation from adolescents and young people through these breakaway sessions, and even just through the general sessions that we're going to have. We'll have a lot of partners coming in. We're going to have exhibition booths for young people to get to know about different organizations working around adolescent health. And we'll have so many exciting things. We're going to have entertainment for the young people, and yeah, so many things coming up.
Right. Thank you so much. If you can tell, my excitement is coming in because I was part of the Provincial Adolescent Health Indaba here in Lusaka. I attended it and I saw how exciting it was to be in such a space, and that's where I had the privilege of, meeting people like Ngandwe. And so I'd like to just re-echo the point that Jeremiah had just commented earlier. He talked of how this is such a networking opportunity, above everything else, and also just get to learn and put in, invest our voice in the health of young people as a whole. So, lastly, as we are closing off, Ngandwe, I'd like you to just add your voice to what people should be looking out for, aside from what Miranda has talked about as we're closing.
Well, above all, I think what's so important is to really look out for the dialogue that will take place between young people and stakeholders. I think that is where most of the revealing truth as to what is obtaining on the ground with regards to HIV will come from, because it's not in the policy documents or in the presentations that will come out from the provinces. It's in the authentic engagement, the exchange of knowledge between young people, that where the answers lie and where we will learn what's really happening on the ground. But also the networking will also be there. If you are a young person that is coming to this Indaba, don't forget to bring your social glasses as you come, because there's going to be a lot of young people who are exposed, a lot of stakeholders that with opportunities, and of course there's going to be a lot of chance to get networked and to build a network that will be beneficial to your career. I saw a comment by Jeremiah where he talked about having to have found his himself kind of from this Indaba, and I think a lot of that happens through the Indaba. So I'm really excited about this one, and the fact that it's regional gives us an opportunity to engage with colleagues in the region to see what's happening and share best practice, and learn how we can bring it back home and implement. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, both to you, Ngandwe and Miranda, for joining us today. I have been your host, Iga Kapambwe, wherever you've been watching us from. We're super excited to get to meet you on the 31st of June, 31st of May, all the way till 2nd June. This has been the Real Talk Show. Remember, we come to you every Friday at 14 hours, all the way till 14:30. So thank you so much for joining us, watching, commenting, responding. I can remember a few names: Hope, Mark, Musenga, watching us from Mlowezi. Yeah, so we really appreciate watching us today, and we hope you will catch us again, same time, same place on Friday at 14 hours. Good afternoon, and have a lovely day.